Alrighty, let's go ahead and look at factoring quadratic trinomials 1a. Now, if you were at the school for Algebra 1, if you were here last year with me, or if you were here the year before, then you would have learned to factor trinomials using a method using what we call a magic X, or also sometimes called a diamond problem. If you're from another school, you may have factored very differently. It doesn't really matter to me how you factor. I'm going to review the diamond method right now, but if you have another method that works for you, that's fine. And I'm just going to do problem number 1. So let's go ahead and look at that. So first off, this method is for quadratic trinomials that are already in standard form, meaning that the first term is an x squared term, the second term is an x term, and the third term is a number term, and there are no other terms. For the method we're going to use today, it works when a is equal to 1. Now you guys have been doing the discriminant on the last 2 pages, so I'm sure you remember a, b, and c. A is the number in front of x squared. There's no number, it's really 1. B is the number in front of x, which in this case is 7, and c is the number by itself at the back, which is 10. Now, when a is 1, it's actually very easy to factor a quadratic. We set the problem up with again, here's that x I was talking about, and it's just a graphic organizer. We're going to put the product a times c at the top, and we're going to put b at the bottom, and the easiest way to remember that is b bottom, b goes on the bottom, the other things go on the top. When a is 1, a times c is essentially just c, and you may have heard a teacher in the past just say you put c on the top. It's always a times c, it's just when a is 1, 1 times whatever is just that thing. So I'm going to have 10 on the top, b is 7, that goes at the bottom. Now what I'm looking for when I'm doing a diamond problem or a magic X problem, I want 2 numbers that when I multiply them together I get the top number 10, and when I add them together I get the bottom number 7. Now this one's probably a little easy because there's only 2 ways to make positive 10. It's either 1 and 10 or 2 and 5. Let's say I put 1 and 10 here. Well, it is true that 1 times 10 is 10 on the top, but 1 plus 10 is definitely not 7 on the bottom. So this is not going to work. So then I try something else. Let's try 2 and 5. And then we just check. Is 2 times 5 equal to 10? Yes, it is. Is 2 plus 5 equal to 7? Yes, that's also true. So again, when a is 1, that's all the work I need to do to factor. I am now ready to rewrite this. Now when you factor a quadratic trinomial, for the most part, you're going to get a pair of binomials. Each are going to start with x, and then the number that we add or subtract are the side numbers we just found. So we're going to say that x squared plus 7x plus 10 factors into x plus 2 times x plus 5. In fact, we could do is we could write this as an equation. X squared plus 7x plus 10 is equal to x plus 2 times x plus 5. And again, just as we said before, factoring is the opposite of multiplying. So if I were to multiply x plus 2 times x plus 5, I would expect to get x squared plus 7x plus 10 back. I'm not going to do that right now because I want to make this problem messier than it is. But that is how you factor a quadratic trinomial. And again, this method is what we would use when a is 1.